Hi, this is Asing. You are now watching Asing Math TV. Today, I would like to share the chi-square distribution in SPS. Consider the random variable x follows chi-square distribution with alpha equal to 0.01, degrees of freedom equal to 6. Let's consider the problems that we usually face when dealing with hypothesis testing. Firstly, obtain the p-value when the test statistics is computed. For example, we have this. To obtain the p-value, we have to make sure that the data view is not empty. Simply type any number in the first column. Proceed to transform, look for compute variable. Type the target variable. We can type P1 to indicate the first p-value. Go to type and label. Label, we can put the complete expression, probability of x less than 2.539. Close bracket. Click on continue. Always bear in mind that SPS uses less than cumulative, or the CDF here stands for less than cumulative, which means that this symbol. So we should now look for chi-square up. The first question mark is the test statistic, 2.539. Second question mark is the degrees of freedom. For this case, it's 6. Click on continue and we should obtain the p-value. To increase the decimal point, go to variable view, increase the number under the decimals. Back to data view and we can see that the number of decimal places increases. Now we can proceed to the second example, transform, compute. This time I'm going to type P2 for the target variable. Type and label change accordingly. This time we have more than cumulative 12.539. Click on continue. What we want here is more than, but this provide less than. So what we have to do here is 1 minus less than to get more than. Change the test statistic to 12.539. Click on OK and we should obtain the p-value. Also, proceed to variable view and increase the decimal if needed. If we are asked to determine the p-value for a two-tail test, then we should take the value times 2. Next, let's determine the critical value for a given level of significance. What we have to do here, also go to transform, compute variable. This time we can put C1 to indicate the first critical value. Type and label, type the complete expression. Probability of x less than k is equal to 0.01. Continue. Delete the expression. Now we should look for inverse. Look for chi-square R. The first question mark is the probability. We should bear in mind that if we are dealing with two-tail test, we should take the value over 2, which means that we should take 0.005. But this is only one-tail test, so we can take the value 0.01. And we should check, make sure that this is less than. So we have the value for degree of freedom 6. Click on OK and we should obtain the critical value as we can see here. Also, to increase the decimal, go to variable view and increase accordingly. Try for the second example, transform, compute variable, C2, type and label, we have more than k. Click on continue. What we need here is more than, but SPS could only determine the value for less than, but understood that if more than we have 1%, which means that less than we should have 99%, which is 0.99. Click on OK and we should obtain the critical value. Also, to increase the decimal point, proceed to variable view and increase accordingly. How if you are asked to compare the shifts of the two distributions with different degrees of freedom? To do so, firstly, we need to generate a series of x value. We can make use of Excel. Remember that chi-square must always non-negative. Start from 0, press enter. Select the value that we type, proceed to fill, look for series, generate by columns. Take a step value of 0.1. Stop value, we can take as big as possible since the difference between the two degrees of freedom is quite big. Click on OK and we should obtain a series of numbers. Shift Ctrl down to select, Ctrl C to copy. Back to SPSS, paste the value. Next, go to variable view, change the name to X. We don't have to adjust the decimal point since this is not important. What we need is only the shape. Now we should generate the probability distribution. Proceed to transform, compute variable, target variable type P1 for the first distribution, type and label. Label we have X follow chi-square distribution with 0.01 degrees of freedom 6. Press on OK. Numeric expression, look for probability distribution, PDF. What we need here is the chi-square of first question mark is the X values, insert. Second question mark is the degree of freedom, which is 6 for this case. Click on OK, and we should obtain the probability. Now, next, generate the second probability distribution, transform, compute variable, change to P2, type and label, we can change to degree of freedom 24. Click on continue, degree of freedom change to 24. Click on OK and we should obtain the distribution. Now we are able to construct the graph. Go to graphs, look for chart builder. OK. Look for the dual axis. Select and double click the second graph. Move X to X-axis. Move one of the distribution to the first Y-axis and the other to the second Y-axis. If we need title, click on title, select title 1 and we type the title under the contain, click on apply and click on OK. And we obtain the graphs. We have to make sure that the maximum numbers must be exactly the same so that the comparison is valid. If different, double click to change. Double click on one of the value on the x-axis. Look for scale. Change the maximum to the same number. As we can see, 0.15. Click on apply. Unfortunately, we can see that they are on the different levels. So what we have to do here, also change the maximum number of this y-axis. Click and change. Click on apply and they should now be on the same level. And the comparison is now valid. Okay, that's all for this video. Thanks for watching. Hope you like this. See you.